Not sure whether I explained this in the first video on the Ecobrix, but when it comes to your windows and your openings, you basically build a CLS framework of that opening, for which then you can build your face blocks around. So I'm just going to run through with you making the windows. So I've got a few windows to make here, so I'll just show you. It's fairly simple and hopefully you'll find it useful. Ellie's really simplified it for me. She's gone through all the drawings and she's written down which window is which and put all the dimensions together for me, rather than me having to look through the drawings and the architect's charts. Much simpler. So the first window I'm doing is the study one. We do the headers first, and this header needs to be 480. I'll mark that there. We're sitting the strings, basically your verticals of the window openings underneath the headers, so it's the strings where you need to factor in the thickness of your material, but the header can be exactly what it needs to be. So yeah, I find that's a good place to start, if any. Always a good idea to maybe write on it as well, in case you put that down with a load of cut other pieces which are a very similar size. You can get yourself in a right old pickle. For assembly, just pre-drill your screw holes. I'm using a countersink bit here to help not split the wood. Obviously that's how you want it to be flush, otherwise your window opening is going to change ever so slightly. So these pieces are going to sit like that once I get the frame squared up. A nice level flat surface, fix in the top supports, and then you can move the strings of the window wherever to suit them. Not cheap by any stretch, but if you're a wood butcher you'll do a decent job of this. It's fairly simple. Then using a framing square, just check how in line you are, which we're looking pretty bloody good. So double check end-to-end measurements. We're running out slightly on the end, so I'll pull that in. We'll fix a bit in along the bottom. I'll do that now. I've already cut this bit at 480, so it's pretty much flush like that. Is just bang on the money. Just double check my nice. It's looking good. Beautiful job. That's just a rough-in of the window frame. With the window frame, you don't need to worry about doing a bottom brace because you're going to put a sill plate over here. The reason why you don't want to do it now is when it comes to our concrete, we've got to fill this void first. Once we know that's full, I'll then fit a timber sill plate on top of that. One down in about 15 minutes, if that.
In this video we will be showing you how we made and installed our window openings. We had a few challenges along the way which we will explain, and if you have any questions feel free to put them in the comments at the end of the video. Chris made all of the window openings in one day. Despite being too heavy-handed and breaking some drill bits, Chris followed my list to a T.
Not ideal.
Having all the window openings made and ready to go, it made our life a lot easier.
I'd also suggest that when you're making your window openings is actually set out your tools exactly how you want them. So I had the saw there that I could also lean timber on the pallet of blocks. I had the saw set up to the dust extractor to help mitigate all of that. I had the drill bits ready, the screws to hand, the levels, and it just made the whole process an awful lot easier. Despite what Ellie was saying, where I was being a little bit heavy-handed and breaking drill bits. We have taken note on comments in our previous videos where we have been neglecting to wear our PPE. Ellie and I, from now, are making sure we are wearing our masks when we're cutting the blocks. Here we're just trying out whether applying a dust extractor to the alligator saw makes any difference. Personally, we both don't think it does, but let us know your thoughts. Is this worthwhile doing?
Some of the windows finish at the bottom of the first floor cladding, so we needed to set them all at the same height. So once again, we used the rotary laser level to help us do that.
You should sit because we're now on a flat earth. Just go 1 mil.
4? Oh, 1 mil window?
Yeah, go for another 1.
The rotary laser level gave us millimetre measurements so that we were able to use our window packers to lift up the windows where necessary.
Yeah.
Here is a good example of where you can see you really want to make sure your openings are square, because after this stage we are literally building the face blocks around those openings. So if you don't get them square at the very start when you're making them, you're setting yourself up for troubles later on. With the front windows set, we could spend the next hour or so building the whole front of the house up to the 6 courses.
These 2 windows are different heights to the front 2 windows. This first window is designed to sit at the top of our bath, and the second window is designed to sit at the top of our dressing table. Fortunately for us, this worked out at 3 blocks tall.
as you see, the pennies dropped, and I've realised if we put a full face block down next, it won't continue a nice even brick bond. There is a number of ways you can get around this, and as you can see here, Ellie and I spent considerable time conflabbing with each other to work out the best route to go down.
Right, we'll fix this one. Yeah, that's the way to do it. That's nice.
This section was made a little bit more difficult. We had to move one of the windows, which then made the opening smaller and not full blocks, so we had to modify them ever so slightly, which made it a little bit more difficult.
Lovely. Why? Okay, perfect. So now,
We didn't have to.
No.
Not that much.
Ah, but then we take the insulation out, don't we? $4.20.
I think well. Nice one,
Sometimes the blocks move when drilling into them with Chris's heavy-handedness, so we found the best way is to apply a bit of pressure.
Yeah, that's where we've set it.
This is where we used the level off the joint 2 courses below to work out where to put our cut so we could maintain the brick bond against this side of the window.
Yeah. You know what you're doing. Yeah, 195. Lovely. Yeah.
So that's the ground floor windows in. Now Ellie and I just have to finish a small section of wall before we can fit the sway frame steels.
Yeah. I choose that we're going to full face block.
Yep.
Yes. Wait. You can't see another sliver of insulation. It's the block, isn't it?
To give you an idea of timescale, this straightforward section of wall only took us half an hour.
Before you're there, drop that on there. Just see
We thought while we've got an open end of wall, it's actually a really good opportunity to show you how the concrete will flow block from block. So you can see here the matching square cutouts, allowing the concrete to flow like horizontally. And now we're at 6 courses. This is a real time where I don't want to go dropping my phone down these continuous concrete columns. So these are the 120mm voids that will form solid concrete columns within the wall structure.
So that's all the ground floor window openings and doors, and we're up to 6 courses, not far off ready for our concrete pour. But before then we've got to install our sway frame steels into our reinforced concrete slab, and we'll include this in our next video. Thanks for watching.